तो एफ ब्लॉक एलिमेंट हा टॉपिक आहे. एफ ब्लॉक ची प्रायमरी आयडिया आपल्याला माहित आहे. या एफ ब्लॉक मध्ये आपण बीएससी टूल असताना लॅन्थनाइड एलिमेंट स्टडी केलेले आहेत आणि टीवाय बीएससी ला ॲक्टिनाइड एलिमेंट्स स्टडी केलेले आहेत. तर या दोन्हीचा कंबाईंड स्टडी आपल्याला करायचा आहे. हा पार्ट आपण ऑलरेडी कव्हर केला आहे, पण आपल्याला रिव्हिजन कम परत एकदा हे शिकायचं आहे. जर आपण पिरियडिक टेबल बघितली तर आपल्याला माहित आहे की पिरियडिक टेबल मध्ये 4 ब्लॉक्स आहेत. मी स्क्रीनवर दाखवतो तुम्हाला. This is a block, study of a block elements, and this is a schematic representation of the periodic table, where on extreme left hand side we know there is a S block which comprises of first A group elements, alkali metals, second A group elements, alkaline earth elements. Then on extreme right hand side of this periodic table a P block is there, and in between S and P block of the periodic table the D block is there, which is always referred as a common word, transition elements. The word transition means here this block which is in between S and P block of the periodic table, which is a transition between S and P, and hence these elements are commonly known as the transition elements. So the D block of the periodic table is known as a transition elements, and one more block is there which is at the bottom of this periodic table is known as the F block of the periodic table, which comprises of two important series. The study of these two series is expected at your level. The first series is known as actinide series, and second series is known as a first series is known as a lanthanide series, and second series is known as a actinide series. The series that is named as actinide series, which starts from lanthanum, which ends with lutetium atom number 71. Here the elements, the 15 members which comprises in a separate series is known as actinides. The name that is given actinide series being actinium being lanthanum being the first member of the series, hence it is known as a lanthanide series. The second series is known as the actinide series, which starts with atom number 89, that is actinium, and which ends with lawrencium atom number 103. The series that is named as a lanthanide series, that is characterized by the occupancy of 4f orbital, while the series named as actinide series, where 5f orbital that is being filled, because the new electron or incoming electron that preferentially enters into 4f or 5f orbital. Hence lanthanide elements are also known as a 4f block elements, and the actinide elements are known as the 5f elements. Here if we look at the periodic table of the elements, this is the periodic table of the elements, where I have shown this is a block of the periodic table, this is a P block of the periodic table, and this is a D block of the periodic table having 4 important series, and this is F block of the periodic table. Here this is first A group of the periodic table, this is second A group of the periodic table, this is third B group of the periodic table. If we come downwards from scandium, then yttrium, then here this is the first period, second period, this is third period, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh period. In the sixth period, cesium element is there having atom number 55, and in the second here, in the second A group of the periodic table, barium element is there having atom number 54. After atom number 54, a series of elements that is known as the lanthanide elements that comes here. So after atomic number 56, 57th element is a lanthanum, and which ends with lutetium atom number 71. Here the sixth period ends with radon, that is atom number 86. After atom number 86, 87 is a alkali metal francium, after which radium is there, which is alkaline earth metal, and after radium, atom number 88, again a series of 15 elements is there, that is known as actinide series, where the first member is actinide. So here, if we look at the general characteristics of all these elements, it is seen that these are the elements in which the last electron enters in the 5f subshell, either 4f or 5f subshell. The anti-penultimate shell are F block elements. That means here, if we look at the electronic configuration, perhaps you might be having the notes, where if we look at the electronic configuration of all the lanthanides, it is seen that 4f orbital, then 5d and 6s. So anti-penultimate shell is a 4f electron subshell, which is deeply buried below 5d and 6s. So this is known as the anti-penultimate shell. These elements are also called as the inner transition elements. We have seen the transition elements where only D block is involved, but those elements which are again present in this transition series of elements are known as the inner transition elements. So there are two sub or inner transition elements comprising of lanthanide and actinide elements. All these elements are heavy metals. They also form complex salts. They show variable oxidation states. Their compounds are generally colored, and actinide elements are radioactive. Now, if we look at the occurrence of all these elements, that the lanthanones being chemically very active, because of their reactivity, they do not occur in nature in free state. So they are always combined with the non-metallic stuff that is present, particularly oxides or carbonates or sometimes sulfides. There are more than 100 minerals containing these elements are known, and all are usually complex. Among the minerals, silicates are more common. That means the lanthanide elements, they can form the complexes with SiO2, that is a non-metallic stuff from the atmosphere, and they form the corresponding silicates. The traces of lanthanones are also found in the form of coal, bones, tobacco, and rice. Here, if we look at the percentage occurrence of all these elements, it is seen that the elements which are having even atomic number, those are found in plentiful manner. That means, for example, if we look at the cerium having atomic number 58, 58 is an odd atomic number. Then 59, again odd atomic number, but 60 is an even atomic number. So those elements having atomic number, even atomic number 60, 62, 64, 66, all these elements which exhibit even atomic number, they are found in greater quantities. So this rule is known as the Hawkins rule. So Hawkins rule stated that those elements which are having even atomic number, they are more in nature as compared to the elements having odd atomic numbers. The minerals are found particularly in Scandinavian Peninsula, Ural Mountains, Brazil, Greenland, USA, Russia, and Australia, etc. So they are found more in foreign countries as compared to India. Only these elements are found in Northeast India, particularly Assam. The chief minerals of lanthanones, if we want to summarize, these are the gadolinium, xenotime, cerite, and monazite, which is particularly the phosphate. The gadolinium mineral of lanthanide contains particular silicates, while the xenotime, which is having the lanthanide element, which when combined with atmospheric oxygen, it can form the corresponding oxide of the lanthanide. So these elements either fall in gadolinium, that is silicate, or in xenotime, that is a phosphates, or they may also found in the form of a cerite or in the form of a monazite sand. So monazite sand is nothing but it is a naturally occurring substance of lanthanide in the form of phosphates. Now, if you look at the lanthanide series, where the first member is a lanthanum and the last member is a lutetium. There are actually here it is written 14 elements, but actually there are 15 elements are there. If you look at the lanthanum to lutetium, there are 15 members are there. The general electronic configuration of these elements is 4f 1 to 40, the 5d 0 to 1, and 6s2. So this 6s orbital, which is filled at barium atom number 56, and after which a series of elements, that is 57th electron enters into 5d orbital. Here it is estimated that the 4f and 5d orbitals are very close in energy. Because 4f and 5d orbitals are very close in energy, so after lanthanum, where the 57th electron enters into 5d orbital, the next electron after cerium, praseodymium, dymium, the incoming electron now enters into 4f orbital. The reason for this is that as we move one step further after lanthanum, then the energy gap or energy difference between 4f and 5d orbital becomes very, very small. And this 4f orbital becomes decisively more stable, and hence after praseodymium or so, the incoming electron preferentially enters into 4f orbital. Now, the drastic feature of this lanthanide series or the electronic configuration, perhaps you might have studied during our regular lecture, that gadolinium acquires 4f7 configuration in order to give extra stability associated with completely half-filled electron subshell. And at lutetium, the 71st electron enters into 5d orbital because up to ytterbium atom number 70, the 4f orbital completely filled, and hence there is no choice of the incoming electron, that is 71st electron, to enter into 5d orbital. So at lutetium, the incoming electron enters preferentially into 5d orbital. So again, if we look at lanthanum, where no 4f electrons are there, even though it is a F block element, and this element contains the d electron also. So according to convention, lanthanum element should be included in d block, but lanthanum shows characteristic feature or characteristic properties as those were shown by all the elements, and hence lanthanum shows the comparative similar properties as those were exhibited by all other members. Hence later on lanthanum was also included in the lanthanum series. So we can study 15 members in the lanthanum series. Now, if we look at the next slide, I want to show the next slide where now this is the electronic configuration that I just now I have discussed, that here the 5d electron is there, the 57th electron enters into 5d orbital, and it should be written in terms of xenon, xenon being atomic number 54, it is an inert gas element. So here in terms of xenon core, here this is the electronic configuration of lanthanum. It is having 4f orbital which is entirely empty, but the 57th electron has entered into 5d orbital. So here just now we have seen that all these elements, they do exhibit the preferential occupancy of the 4f orbital. Now if we look at all other properties, we have also worked out during our regular lecture that these elements, they show variable oxidation states. The variable oxidation states that is shown by these elements is shown here. Here, the +3 oxidation state is a common or major or principal oxidation state because the elements are situated in third B group of the periodic table, and as we know that the group valency is always attributed to these elements. So +3 is a principal or major or common oxidation state exhibited by these elements. The lowest oxidation state shown by these elements is a +2, and highest oxidation state shown by these elements is a +4. So all these elements, they do display +3 as a common oxidation state. The lowest oxidation state shown by samarium, europium, terbium, and ytterbium, and neodymium also. The highest oxidation state that is shown by only 4 members, that is cerium, praseodymium, terbium, and dysprosium. We have also discussed that how to calculate all these oxidation states and how to derive all these oxidation states depending upon their atomic numbers. The stability of these oxidation states that wholly depends upon acquiring the 4F0, 4F7, and 4F14 configurations respectively, that is a completely empty, half-filled, and completely filled electronic subshell. Also, we have seen that these elements, they show the common oxidation state as +3. Here it is seen that all these elements, they have shown the +2 oxidation state. Only few elements are there, but +4 oxidation state that is shown by only 4 members. In fact, the +4 oxidation state that is shown by these elements, this oxidation state is also very much stable because some of these elements, they do display the F0, F7, or F14 configurations respectively. On account of these elements, they have shown the stable +4 oxidation state also. Now, if we look at the magnetic properties of all these elements, it is seen that two types of magnetic behavior that is exhibited by these elements. One magnetic behavior that is known as the paramagnetic behavior, another is known as a diamagnetic behavior. If we look at the electronic configuration of all these elements, it is seen that majority of these members, they are having either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 unpaired electrons in their 4f orbital. So the magnetic properties which are associated with these elements is concerned with the occupancy of 4f orbitals, except to that of lanthanum, that is atom number 57, and lutetium, that is atom number 71. These are the two members which are having the paired electrons, except to that of lanthanum, which is having 4f orbital which is empty. Here, these are the two members. They do display the diamagnetic behavior because of the absence of unpaired electrons, as we know. The paramagnetic behavior that is exhibited by the elements, that is from cerium atom number 58 to ytterbium atom number 70, because these members contain either single or up to 7 unpaired electrons. For example, if we look at gadolinium +3, it is having 4f7 configuration, maximum number of unpaired electrons. So the paramagnetic behavior that is attributed due to the presence of unpaired electrons. So if a particular atom or ion of the lanthanide series, if it contains either single or up to 7 unpaired electrons, it is paramagnetic. So paramagnetic property that is associated with unpaired electrons. So whenever we find the unpaired electrons, the element is always paramagnetic. On the contrary, the elements which are having double occupancy of electrons, for example, lutetium 4f14, where the 4f orbital, all the 7 4f orbitals are doubly occupied, no unpaired electron is there, and hence lutetium is the diamagnetic on account of double occupancy of electrons, or lutetium does not have any unpaired electrons, and hence it is a diamagnetic. So if we look at the magnetic property, just see the slide. Here, the magnetic and spectroscopic properties of lanthanides. All the trivalent lanthanide ions, here the word trivalent, it is particularly written because all these elements, they do display +3 as a common oxidation state, and hence the word trivalent is written here, except lanthanum and lutetium. They do not have unpaired electrons. The maximum number of unpaired electrons is 7, which is gadolinium +3. Just now I have shown you that the gadolinium +3 is having 7 configuration with a magnetic moment of 7.94 Bohr magneton. As we know that magnetic moment is always measured in terms of a unit that is known as Bohr magneton, which can be calculated by using spin only formula, which is perhaps you might have written in your notebook, that is mu s is equal to square root of n into bracket n plus 2, where the small n indicates the total number of unpaired electrons. So if we put the value of total number of unpaired electrons, then we can easily arrive at the magnetic moment. So we have also calculated this magnetic moment. But the largest magnetic moment at 10.4 to 10.7 Bohr magnetons, which are exhibited by dysprosium and holmium. Here, as we know, perhaps you might have heard that during some accident, the physicians advise that you have to go through MRI technique. MRI is nothing but it is a magnetic resonance imaging technique where these lanthanides play a very important role, particularly holmium oxide. A cuvette that is made up of the holmium oxide, about 4%, and 10% of perchloric acid is added. Here, this is added in a cord crystal so as to calibrate this MRI machine. So, this holmium plays a very important role in MRI techniques. If we move for the further slide, here it is written as the chemical reactivity of lanthanides. In the beginning, we have seen that all these elements are extremely reactive. Because of their reactivity, they do not found in nature in its elemental state. They are always associated with a non-metallic stuff from the atmosphere. If we look at this slide, if here at the center, Ln stands for the common word that is lanthanide elements, either of these lanthanide elements, with acid, it can produce hydrogen gas. So if the lanthanide elements, if are treated with any dilute mineral acid, then always hydrogen gas is liberated. With halogens, for example, HCl or HI or HBr, here they can form the corresponding halogens. Now, with water, they can form the corresponding hydroxide, and hydrogen gas is also liberated. With carbon, they can form corresponding carbides. When lanthanide elements, when are heated with nitrogen, they can form corresponding nitrides. And when lanthanide elements are heated with sulfur, they can form corresponding sulfides. And if lanthanide elements, if are burnt in air or in atmosphere, they can form corresponding oxide. So with the particular reaction with either acid, halogen, water, with carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, or in oxygen, they can form corresponding the required product. Here I would like to show you the chemical reactivity with regard to the slide which I have shown earlier. Here, the first few members of the lanthanides, they are quite reactive and show chemical behavior. Similar to that of calcium, the standard electrode potentials of tripositive lanthanides indicate all the lanthanides are more reactive than aluminum. So it is the reactivity of lanthanides is compared with that of aluminum. These metals combine with hydrogen when heated gently in the gas and form hydrides of the type LnH2 and LnH3, that is lanthanide hydride, that is formed. Now, if we move to the reactions of all these lanthanides, either with hydrogen, oxygen, or water, carbon dioxide, or sulfur, or atmospheric oxygen. Here, Ln is a tripositive lanthanide element. So, for example, here Ce plus 3 if we take, and which reacts with 3 molecules of hydrogen, they can form 2 molecules of CeH3, name is a cerium hydride. If we take again the similar type of lanthanide element, that is 2 molecules of cerium plus 3 molecules of oxygen, when react with this cerium plus 3, they can form 2 molecules of Ce2O3, that is cerium oxide. When the lanthanide elements react with water, they can form insoluble hydroxide. This is a characteristic feature that lanthanide elements, they dissolve in water or they react with water, but the product thus formed, that product is rather insoluble in water. That means if we take for instance Ce2O3, when react with 3 molecules of hydrogen, twice CeOH thrice, that is cerium hydroxide, which is almost insoluble in water. With carbon dioxide, it can form the corresponding carbonate. So Ce2O3 plus thrice CO2, that is Ce2CO3 thrice. So cerium carbonate that is formed. Another reaction that may be also seen here, when lanthanide elements react with carbon, as we know that they can form corresponding carbides, that is lanthanum or cerium or praseodymium carbides, but the temperature should be maintained very high, that is 2773 Kelvin. So cerium plus 3 plus twice C, when heated at elevated temperature, they can form cerium carbide. With nitrogen, as we have seen earlier, that with nitrogen it can form corresponding nitride. So this nitride, that film is very hard to remove when it combines with the lanthanide elements. Now, if we take 2 molecules of cerium plus 3, if it reacts with nitrogen and heated, then 2 twice Ce, and that is cerium nitride that is formed. With sulfur, these elements, they can form the corresponding sulfides also. Now, if we look at another slide, that is reaction with water and reaction with the nitrogen. Here, lanthanide elements, they also react with water so as to form the corresponding hydroxide. They liberate hydrogen from dilute acids, that is H2 gas that is liberated. So here we have completed the electronic configuration, the oxidation states. We have completed the 15 members of the lanthanide elements, where the series itself starts with lanthanum atom number 57, which ends with lutetium atom number 103. I am going to revise the entire part that we have covered just now, because it is showing only 4 minutes are left. So we are going to continue again tomorrow, but I would like to revise once again that the members of lanthanide elements, the position of which, if we look at the position of all the lanthanides, it is seen that these members are placed in 6th period and 3rd B group of the periodic table. If you are having the notebook, then you have to write the position of lanthanide is a 6th period and 3rd B group. Perhaps we might have written during our routine lectures also that 6th period and 3rd B group of the periodic table. This is the correct position that is assigned to all the lanthanides. There are 15 members starting from lanthanum atom number 57, which ends with lutetium atom number 71. The drastic feature of all these elements during the electronic configuration, that because the 4f and 5d orbitals are very close in energy, and the energy difference between 4f and 5d orbitals is very small, and hence after lanthanum, the 4f orbital becomes decisively more stable because it acquires greater stability. Hence, after lanthanum, the next electron preferentially enters into 4f orbital, and later on there is a preferential occupancy of the 4f orbital. But at gadolinium, again the continuous building up of the electronic confusion that is disrupted, because in order to offer the extra stability associated with completely half-filled electronic subshell, gadolinium acquires 4f7 configuration so as to give completely half-filled electronic configuration. At lutetium, that is at atom number 171, that is lutetium atom number 71, where the last electron has no any other choice than to enter into 5d orbital. So 4f orbital is completely filled up to lanthanum. So lanthanum 4f0, gadolinium 4f7, lutetium 4f14. These are the three members which exhibit extra stable electronic confusion. They offer extra stability because of completely empty, half-filled and completely filled electronic subshell. If we move one step further, that is at oxidation states, that while briefing the oxidation state, you should remember the +3 is a common or major oxidation state that is shown by all these elements, because it is a group valency that is attributed. So while writing the explanation, you should write the three important words for oxidation state: +3. +3 is a major, common, stable, and this group valency that is attributed to all these elements. So you have to write first of all the common or major or principal oxidation state which is extra stable. So the common word that is given is a tripositive lanthanide elements. So here it is showing less than 1 minute is showing. So I would like to conclude here. So you have to study all this. Based on this study, we can continue our study of F block elements tomorrow also. So I wish you good luck for your exam, and stay home and study very well.